Torah, so you know exactly which one that you can fit in that. That's what a teacher does. They don't study one thing, you study all things. So no matter if I'm sitting with a Christian, I'll start building with the crystals. I can start talking about the Christ light or the light. Okay, let's jump over here with hip hop. And what is hip hop? Hip means to know, hop means to move. So I'm hip hopping out. So I can jump from each piece and make the connections to what's going on today. So if I'm sitting with my people there about black Indians, then I'll start discussing black Indians. We're not black. And the word was not black, it was called bleak, which means wood of color. So I would make that connection and talk about the slave trade. So sometimes we could be up here with people.
Oh, bleak?
Yeah, bleak. That's
Yeah, but you're
Like
going a little further than that. It's just a matter of how you sound out the vowels.
Exactly.
Whether you use the American sound or the international sound.
Well, there's no such thing as an American sound. See what I'm saying? So
Well, there is now because the lexicon has adapted the vowels or perverted them.
Well, yeah, I mean, etymology, you can't go wrong with that. It's all language.
I understand.
So, I mean, that's all we got to do is deal with etymology. Just deal with the language. And if you take a person to a dictionary, we was taught that in school. When my son was 3, I used to have him going through a dictionary. So every word in the dictionary, you look it up. And then you'll start seeing what it actually means. And
Can I ask you a personal question? You told me you were Moor, right? You chose a royal name that dealt with law, but you say you don't teach law.
Say that again?
You chose a royal name that dealt with law, Bey.
I didn't choose that.
You didn't?
No. We never choose. See, that's the problem. We don't never choose our name. Somebody else supposed to do that. The name that I have, period, I never chose. The name Sabir came from a Muslim brother that gave me that name. I didn't know because of the situation. He said,
I'm just trying to find out something. Because I understand that within the Moorish community, Ali has to do with professors. El has to do with ministers or people of God. And Bey has to do with people of law.
Governors, that's what it means.
Yeah.
It's the governor of the land.
Well, that's people of law.
Yeah, governor. Yeah, but I didn't see. That's what I'm saying. What you just said, that I didn't even pick none of that. What somebody gave that.
Oh, I understand that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I never picked any of that stuff. Somebody gave it to me. So when I started
So
looking.
you grew up in the community?
No, I've been doing this for 13 years. I used to be in Sunni Islam. Before Sunni Islam, I was in the Nation of Islam. I grew up Catholic, but I always saw things, something that was wrong. So a brother came to me. I was probably like 16, 17, and me and another brother went into the Nation, but I was still into the street. So what happened, he stayed in the Nation, I went back to the street. I got shot, started changing a lot of things. So I went to Sunni Islam, stayed in Sunni Islam, ran across, and there was always an older Moor that lived next door to me. It was funny because I never knew who he was. He's always come to me and say, you know you're not little black in color? I'm like, what are you talking about? Get out of here. I used to say that to him a lot. But it wasn't until I got older and I started seeing brothers with fences on.
Yeah, none of us are brand names.
Yeah.
All 14 million Negroes.
Yeah. I mean, all of them. Even you got some more than 14 million citizens. All that
But
stuff.
I was confused when I was told about you going to Just Aluka. Said you're going to talk to indigenous people.
No, they're not.
And I said, those are not indigenous
Oh,
people.
we know that. We know that. See, the thing is that that's our problem. This is why when I was in Chicago, Moore told me he was trying to get on Oprah. You can't get on Oprah talking about Islam, brother. Oprah rejected you for that because she's a Christian. You got to find out what people. That's why you got to be well-rounded. One thing I've learned when I was in the Nation Farrakhan said, you don't go into church and talk about Muhammad. You go into church and talk about Jesus, but you better know something about Jesus, so you can have a conversation. Right. Then you say Jesus said this, and then you say Muhammad said this, and then you say he did this. Show the love between the two, and then they'll say, let's sit down and talk. But if I'm coming into you telling you that this is not who you are, bang, the door is shut. I don't want to hear nothing else because now you think that I'm trying to force you into what I believe. And that's what happened when I went to Eastern Michigan. They said it was a Moor that was on their campus that was trying to convert them. He said, but he didn't get it because he kept saying Islam. See what I'm saying? And they would say, no, man, they was laughing at him basically. Saying, man, get out of here, we don't want to be a part of that. So what happens, you can't go to these people who has been conditioned over years to accept that. So when I'm going to them, they're there. I would make a comment like they GIs. Hey, what is a GI? Government Indians. They on a plantation. See what I'm saying? And then they will understand what I'm saying. So I would go, like I said to her yesterday, the indigo means dark. The Indian means dark. You walk them through these things, basic stuff, and you're talking to people that's supposed to be educated.
Well, it was a misnomer anyway because the damn food was lost.
Well, we understand that too.
Yeah.
That's in history books.
Yeah.
We know that. But the thing is that how do we bring that to basic so people understand that? You know what I mean? And that's what I do. So I have to find out. I can go in the room and basically feel people, know who's going to say something, know how he's going to act. I did radio for 9 years, so I'm used to that. I did over 50 DVDs. So I know people, and I'm traveling all the time. So I'm seeing and I'm feeling energies when I walk. So I know he's going to say this. Eventually, he's going to say it. I know it. He's going to say this. He's going to do this. So I know each person, but I can read a book and know that. But instead of reading books, we need to be the book. Instead of reading it. Stop reading science and be the science. That's all we got to do is be the law. Don't read the law, be the law. Understand the law. And this is when you start moving. And you become the alchemist. You know all these things getting ready to happen. You know what's about to, go on. You're throwing it out there in the ethers. This is what happens. So when I walked in there yesterday, it was like I was home. The sister was asking me questions. She was a Christian. I said, oh, wait. So I had to go to the Bible. See, I seen a cross on her neck, and I'm looking like, and it was funny because I'm sitting here and I'm saying, listen, sister, because she said, when the slaves came from Africa, they mixed with the Indians. That's what she said. I said, no, that was family. I said, let's go to the scriptures for a minute. When Moses went into Pharaoh, I said, if a Caucasian walked into our neighborhood, I said, wouldn't you know the difference? I said, I can walk in any hood in the United States of America and blend in. The only way you would know that I'm different is one, probably the way I'm dressed or by the way I'm speaking. That's a cultural difference, I told her. Culture. If I'm in Detroit, they say, heck no. If I'm in New York, we say, what it do? See what I'm saying? In Philly, we say, what's up? So now I'm speaking cultural now. Like hip-hop's a culture. See what I'm saying? How you can blend hip-hop in now. We dress a certain way. We wear certain clothes. Anybody, we know hip-hop is a culture. But that's culture, but the ethnicity is the same. So now we're coming amongst our own people. That's what I had to explain to her. She said, oh, I got it. So Pharaoh and Moses, the same people. So he could sit up underneath him. If he was different, everybody could tell. That's how he did. And so you have to go to the scriptures and read it. It's in there.
Well, there's an indication in that in the scriptures if it be true.
Listen.
When he changed colors,
well, they said that's something different.
White, yeah.
But it's something different. The thing is that people, it's truth and falsehood in the scriptures. Just gotta know how to read the book. We don't go in the book, we go by the book. Difference. We gotta go in, dissect, analyze, scrutinize. That's what critical thinkers do. That's how they do it. You analyze everything that's inside the book and you say, okay, this is what it is. It's there. Europeans come from us. They call it leprosy. You got the spots on their back. So
right.
that's all you got to do is read these things.
They were mutations.
Yeah, that's all it is. So I'm not going to argue that issue. Then let it be what it is.
Well, the book is Kodak inscripted.
Yeah, everything is.
Yeah.
That's why I said you are the book.
Yeah.
This is the book right here. This is history right here we're making. Somebody can look at this 10 years from now and say, wow, I remember that.
But there are different phenomena in terms of most albinos.
Say it again?
The so-called white man is a biological phenomenon based on the comparative to most albinos or mutations. Their difference is that they have learned how to reproduce, because most albinos or most mutations can't reproduce. You're aware of that scientifically, right?
Yeah, but see, that's good. We've been teaching the same thing over and over. Everybody knows that. We know that.
Not everybody.
Listen, it's not a secret, brother. Listen,
no, I'm saying it's not a secret, but everybody knows.
They know. And especially Europeans. That's why I said it's good to sit with them and travel, because they know. The best way to get any European is hit them in the bloodline. The problem is you can always hit them in the bloodline no matter what it is. I don't get into brother, that's a waste of my time. Let's go into the bloodline. Let's talk about your last name for a minute, McDouglas, or McDouglas, or McDonald's. There are Moorish names, it doesn't matter. Let me take you back a little further than that. The Britons, the modern Brits. Brutus was us. Olive was my sister. Our complexion is not black, it's olive. Popeye the Englishman. Ooh, what were they doing? Fighting over the woman. Who impregnates the woman and herds the land? Everything comes from mother. This is why they had to kill Dodi Lafayette. Inputs of Diana.